Hello and welcome to Blogging Good News. This is a game store special. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to Blogging Good News. Now I would like to talk about something that is affecting probably most of the gamers in Northern Ireland, the closure of the Game Group stores. Now, only 5 of these stores will now be staying open in Northern Ireland. One of them will be up in Belfast and one of them will be the store in the Newtownards shopping centre. But only around 333 stores are actually going to be staying open in the whole of the UK and Northern Ireland. That means that 277 are closing in the whole of the UK and Northern Ireland. But why has this come about? Well, mainly because Game has been facing competition from online only retailers like Amazon, who can usually sell games much cheaper and don't have to pay for store rental and other things like that. But the thing is buying online actually worth it? Because if you think about it, I know that I like to go into a game store and just have a look about the pre-owned titles, and I like to maybe go down to a game store whenever I get my pocket money and maybe buy one of their cheapish games, but on the day so I can play it that night. But the thing is, if you buy from online only retailers, that means that you maybe have to end up either paying maybe £6 for super fast next day delivery, or you have to wait maybe 2 or 3 days at the minimum to get your items, which, if you want the game for that evening, then it's pretty much useless. Now, I'm happy that some game stores are still going to be open, but the thing is, and I'm glad I'm still in proximity to one, but the thing is, now that GameStop has closed down all of its stores in the Northern Ireland, and HMV has closed, the HMV in Bangor is closed, that means that if Game were to close their Newtownards store, then that means I would either have to go to Extravision, where they really don't have that great a range of titles, or I would have to go up to Belfast to get my games if I wanted them on the day. Now, this isn't going to be practical, so you'd have to wonder what people are going to do if Game end up closing down, because apparent total operating losses for Game for last year is going to be somewhere in the region of £18 million, and you'd have to wonder how they can be making such a loss. Okay, people are still feeling the bite from the recession, but people still buy games regularly, and people still go out and spend £40 per title, and you'd have to wonder really how they could be making such losses, because over 2,000 jobs are going to be lost from game stores closing down, so this is actually going to hit the wider economy as well. And you'd really have to consider that if all game stores were to close down, then gamers and people who want to get the latest titles will have to maybe end up waiting a few days if they want to buy them from online only retailers, which I think is quite stupid, because okay, internet shopping is a lot more convenient sometimes for people, and if you don't really mind getting your games maybe a few days later, then it's usually a cheaper and more practical way. But if all retail stores were to close down, then many people who don't want to be banned from online stores will be put into a position where they are actually going to have to order online and wait for their games to come. And that is not going to be good for people. It's going to inconvenience a lot of people, so I'm very glad that Game will have some stores remaining open. From what I understand, there's going to be maybe one in each county in Northern Ireland, with maybe one or two exceptions. So everybody will be in a sort of proximity to one, but there's 2,000 job losses going from Game, and that's going to hit the wider economy as well. With, you know, at this crucial stage, we can't be losing more jobs, but you know, I'm glad the game has retained some sort of state of being able to sell. But I would be deeply worried if they were to completely go from Northern Ireland or actually have to shut down, because they are in administration at the moment, but currently they look like they could possibly be saved. Um, don't want to jinx anything yet, but I know that if they do shut down, then it'll inconvenience a lot of people, and I would seriously hope that they will get funding or another person will take over the group, because it's not going to be good if game were to shut down, because as I've already said, in Bangor currently, you know, the game store in Bloomfield Shopping Centre is closing down, HMV has closed down, and GameStop has closed down. So really now, the only place in Bangor where you can end up getting a game is Extravision, and normally they don't have that great a range. So currently at the minute, I'd have to go over to Newtownards, which is a 15-minute drive, but it's still a little bit of an inconvenience, because as well, many people maybe have reward card money or loyalty card money in game, and they're not going to be able to redeem that now. So maybe somebody's just got a game gift card for their birthday or something like that. They're not going to be able to spend that money, and game has said that there will not be any cash given for it, which is maybe going to affect a minute proportion of people again, but it's still going to be an inconvenience, because people now can't redeem that money until game get back on a level playing field. So I would seriously hope that game will get this sorted out, because I do not want to see game. I've been a loyal buyer in game since probably 2002, 2003. So I've been buying games from there for a long time, and I would seriously hope that they don't close down, because they're always a great place to go and get games. So thank you for watching this Blood and Good News game special. Thank you and good night.